Hey guys, this is a re-record of my intro to my Project Pan intro video because I recorded it once and I didn't like it. So you're going to see an outfit change and all that good stuff coming up when I talk about my Project Pan for 2021. And while I was editing that, I noticed a few things that I wanted to mention here. Number one is when I talk about a birthday gift, I'm talking about the one from Sephora, and I'm sure if you are in the makeup scene, then you know exactly what that is when I get to that point. But for those of you who don't, otherwise I'm just talking about some random birthday gift and you don't know what I'm talking about. Number two is I have also noticed that half of my head isn't showing in half of my videos so far, and so I am still working out how to do this stuff, so please bear with me with that and I'll just continue to improve. Also, I wasn't quite sure how to document my progress in my Project Pan, so I will be inserting the measurements at the end of the video, most likely. I might be able to put it on top, but it'll probably be at the end of the video, and for those that I can't visually measure at this point, I will measure by uses. Either way, I'll measure by uses, and then when it stops giving me product, I'll know I'm out of it. And the fourth thing I wanted to say is I didn't realize at the time how low cut my shirt was, so I'm sorry, or you're welcome, whichever. You're just gonna have to deal with some cleavage. So Project Pan is a concept that I came up with on my own, independent of YouTube. I didn't even know people made YouTube videos until like a decade after. Oh my goodness, that was a Minnesota accent. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. I didn't even know people made YouTube videos and put them out on a regular basis until like a half a decade or a decade after it actually began. And what I've come to realize is I've had a lot of independent thoughts and concepts that are actually already a thing on YouTube, which is kind of disappointing because, you know, it takes away my chance to be innovative, but it's also pretty affirming that it probably is a really good idea. And one of those things is project panning. So I didn't know it had a name, but I would look at my collection and be like, I really need to use up this concealer before I buy any other concealers, etc., etc. And so I, now that I'm back on YouTube, am going to do a Project Pan for 2021, and I'm going to try to get in with some of the bigger Project Pan projects that are already out on YouTube. And I've seen a ton of Project Pan videos, but I just found out, again, I'm behind on these things, about the Team Project Pan project, and so they use food scales to measure and down to the gram and milligram, which is brilliant. I don't have a food scale right now, so I'm gonna do other ways of measuring to keep track of what I have, and I'm also going to do a few other things that probably aren't super kosher for Project Pan, but it's the way I want to do it, and I want to do it in a fun way so it's enjoyable for me and that I can actually get through the products. And so I have a set of products here, and some of them are almost gone, and I know that's another thing that people don't really like watching is products that are already almost gone be put into Project Pans, but I'm going to do it because I've had them and I need to get them out of my collection and I need some incentive to use them. Although I want to clarify that I'm not hate panning any of these things. These are all products that I at least like. Some I like better than others. They're not going to be products that I will replace with the same product unless, well, really, I don't think there's an unless to that one. Yeah, so anyway, I'll tell you more about it as we go. So the first product I want to talk about is the fragrance that I put in. And can you see how little I have left in there? This is a product that hubby and I picked out together, and I like it, but my preferences have changed, and I've had this in my collection for a few years, And I think I'm getting down to like the last few days of use of this. I've been working on it for quite some time. But it's, today when I went to use it, I had to angle it just right to get any squirts out of it. But I still want to put it in because, again, I need incentive to work my way through this. And it's such a wide bottle that it takes up so much space on my vanity that it'll be kind of nice to move this one out. So that's the only fragrance I have, and this is the only skincare item I have, and it's by Milk Makeup, and it's a mini eye cooling stick, and I don't know if it works or not, to tell you the truth. I used it today, and it's just, it feels good and it's nice, but I don't know that it depuffs or anything. I've had it for a while. It still smells fine. It hasn't changed formula in any way. So I'm going to try to use it up for whatever reason, because I bought it. So I'm going to use it up. But again, I don't know how effective it is. So the rest of the products are makeup products. So this is a highlighter stick that I use as an inner corner highlight. Again, I have it on today, and I got it in a Pop Sugar box a long time ago. I hadn't used it that whole time, so it's not like I've been using it for that many years. And this is how much I have left. I'll put a better documentation on the screen, but I want to get through this before it goes bad because it has been in my collection for a while, and it's nice. It's really, I like the shape of it for an inner corner highlight, but not something I need to replace. I don't need one of these. I can use shadows to serve that same purpose. Speaking of highlights, I have this Becca cream highlighter. I got it 50% off at Sephora. I probably would not have purchased it if it wasn't 50% off at Sephora, which is a habit I want to get out of, but at the same time, I've enjoyed it. I'm glad to have it in my collection, but I've had it for a while now, so I want to work through it to use it up and not waste it. It's in the shade Pearl, and you can probably see dents in there. I just don't know how to really measure it until I start seeing pan, but I've definitely made a lot of progress, and it is a nice highlighter, which I have on today. So the next item is a concealer from the Balm, and the only reason I am panning this is because the packaging broke. It's in a little plastic pot, and when you screw on the lid, it for a while was cracking. I think everything that cracked off is off, but it's just not great packaging, and so I don't want it to dry out. But this is a great concealer. Great as in my real life and not on YouTube. It looks like it covers things. Since I've been making YouTube videos again, I can see that I need to figure out my under eye situation, because no matter what I do, I still have the purple under my eyes. I have a color corrector on, love it, and I will use only that color corrector some days as makeup, but something about when you're filming videos, it really exposes that sort of thing. So I will get that figured out, but this Balm concealer is really nice. It's in the shade Light. I like it a lot, but I want to work through it before it dries out. The next product is this Bite Change Maker foundation, and it is in the shade L30. The best thing about this is the shade match. I obviously have light skin tone. It's not super fair. It's not dark in any way, so I can always pretty much, some drugstore brands I can't, pretty much find my depth of shade. Where I struggle is undertones, because sometimes when you get into light without, you know, not in the fair shades, but in the light shades, they all have yellow undertones, even the ones that say they're neutral. So sometimes I struggle to find the right undertones for my skin, but this one was a really good shade match for me. But I want to work my way through it and get to foundations I like a little bit better, because this one, I always look a little bit shiny, so I have to set it down, And then it also, if I don't cut it with some moisturizer, it breaks me out. So I had tried a few new things at the same time when I got this, and something was breaking me out, and I wasn't sure. After process of elimination, you know how it goes, I found out it was this. But it is a nice coverage. It's a really nice shade match and not a bad foundation. A lot of people, this is their holy grail foundation. Not for me, but still a nice foundation. I'm not at the point where I can really measure what's in there. I would say I'm probably right about here when I start feeling product in there. The next product is this CoverFX setting powder. I use this with my Changemaker foundation a lot. I wouldn't normally set my entire face because I am pretty dry, but this powder is fine. It's fine. I have other powders I like a lot better. I don't have them, but I know of and have had other powders I like a lot better, like the Hourglass Translucent Veil Setting Powder. I really want that. I guess I have a tiny bit left in my travel size. I really want that in the full size, so I'm working through this, and only because I have to use it anyway. I'm not going to work through it any faster than I would normally, but I want to get to that Hourglass powder. So I just figured I'd put it in my project pan, but there's really not much to say about it. I have tried powders that I don't like the Tarte loose powder, Laura Mercier. They're just way too matte for me because I'm pretty dry. So this one would not fall into that category, so it's not bad if you have dry skin and there's just areas I want to set down, but there's other ones I like better, so it's kind of a middle of the road powder. The last 5 products I have in the project are all lip products, and some people don't even put any lip products in because they say it's hard to work through, and it kind of is, but I really want to get through these because at one point I had way too many lip products to even pretend to get through, so I ended up throwing some out, using some up, and then these are kind of what's left of that generation of lip products in my collection, so I would like to use them up because they're not bad yet. They're good products, but they're getting a little bit old. So 2 of them I'm really close to using up. So I'll show you those first, and then we'll talk about the other ones. These are both from Bite. Bite Amuse Bouche lipsticks were my all-time favorite. Honeycomb was my absolute favorite shade. I have what I'm currently working through, and then I got a backup when they were discontinuing it because they were, what, 75% off? And I love that shade and that formula, and they haven't replaced it yet. They discontinued everything because they're going completely vegan. And so anyway, that was a tangent. Let's get back to what I have. So this is Chai in a mini, and that's all I have left. But again, I mean, that'll be several uses. It's so pigmented. So I need to work through that. This was a birthday present a couple years ago, but my friend gave me hers, so I already worked through one of these, which was my birthday present, and then she gave me hers, so I have this much left of that. Then I have Meringue. That same friend gave this to me for my birthday. Well, she gave me a gift card, and this is one of the things I picked out with it. And this is Meringue in the same formula. And it's really light on me. So during the summer, I don't mind wearing it with like a lip liner, but on its own. But what I really like about it is if I have a dark lipstick on, I'll layer this on top and kind of smush it together, and it lightens it up quite a bit. So I mostly use this for that. Actually, I'm wearing it right now on top of another Bite product in mahogany, something like that, a dark color, and so it just makes it a little bit less harsh on me. So this one, very little left. I should be able to work my way through this pretty quick. The next one is Trestique, and I have to say, I try to stick to cruelty-free. I have no idea the cruelty-free status of this one. I got it in a FabFitFun box a while ago. It was one of the ones I stashed away and opened later when I was without income for a while. So Trestique, I can look it up. But anyway, this lip pencil, I'm done with the lip balm side. I didn't like that side because it was so soft, it fell off, and then it was hard to use, but I did use it up. So this matte side, that's how much I have left, and it's a nice lip product. A little bit dry because it's matte. It's not really super long lasting, but it's not gone in a flash either. It's kind of one of those middle of the road products. Would I repurchase if I find out it's cruelty free? Maybe, but not with this side. I'd rather get either full pencil or yeah, I guess that's it. If it has to come with this, it has to be a really good deal. Next, I have this Tarte lip paint. It's matte and it's in the shade Front Row, and I got it to try to replace an indie brand liquid lipstick I had. It used to be called Lonely Planet. It was in the shade Debbie, and that was like my perfect nude. Kind of a little bit of a deeper nude. I would say a little terracotta, but it went with everything. There was just something about that shade I absolutely loved. So I was in search of a replacement. This kind of looks like it from the outside, but it ended up being a little more brick red than I was expecting, so I didn't get as much use out of it as I would have liked. But the formula is pretty good. It stays put. It's a little bit drying. I would definitely repurchase this in different shades if I want liquid lipstick. There's a few formulas I prefer over others. This is probably one of the better liquid lipstick formulas that I prefer. So I don't know how to gauge how much is in there. It's still pretty juicy when I open it, but there you go. That's Tarte in Front Row. But when I get to spring, I'm probably not going to use this one so much because it's more of a fall winter shade for me. So I'm going to have to try to use it quite a bit right away before spring comes. The last product I have in my project pan right now, I forgot to mention this is going to be a rolling project pan, so as soon as I get rid of one product, I'll introduce another product. And I'm also going to give myself the liberty to introduce more products as I see them being a good candidate for project pan. So this is an ABH lip gloss in the shade, I say caramel, other people would say caramel, so elegant. Yeah, it's a good lip gloss. It's really pigmented. So when I got this, again, another thing I hoarded and stashed away and pulled out later. When I got this, my preference was really pigmented lip glosses, and I do like the formula. A lot of people don't like this formula. I like it. But oh, it smells so good. And I can see it's almost empty. It's not very juicy anymore. And that swatched pretty thin. But anyway, it is a nice lip gloss. I can already see some clear spots in the packaging. So we're good with this one. It should be a matter of time. But because it's not my preferred formula anymore, I don't reach for it all that often. So that's why it's in Project Pan, so I can get through it. Thank you so much for watching. That was my Project Pan intro video with the first products I want to work through in 2021. If you want to see how I make progress on these and you want to see future updates, the rolling products that I introduce into it, please subscribe so you can keep track of that. If you are working on a project pan, please let me know how it's going. If you make videos about your project pans, please let me know down below, because I would really like to get into the project pan community and find support in each other. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.